But since we all don't want to do that every single day, we might get together and hire a sheriff to do it for us. And what we're doing is we are creating government, and that sheriff is now doing something that all of us already originally had a right to do. So we're creating a government. That government now has our consent to protect our rights and to protect our property. Fast forward to 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. You know, you don't even have to fast forward that far. Fast forward to about 1913. 1913, our government started doing all kinds of things that really drastically started pulling us away from the Constitution and from those principles of government, those principles of freedom and liberty. But basically, what I'm trying to say, though, is that in the United States Constitution, in Article 1, Section 2, Article 1, Section 8, Article 4, Section 4, the 9th Amendment, the 10th Amendment, the 5th Article of the U.S. Constitution, everything revolves around state sovereignty. The Founding Fathers wanted to keep government as local as possible because they knew that in order for our government to protect our individual liberty, we need to have as most influence as we can possibly have over them. That's why Bev was saying we have 163 state reps and we need to keep it that way. Because right now, I probably don't live more than 4 or 5 miles from anybody in my district. But if all of a sudden we went down to 50 state reps, someone might have to drive literally in 2 hours to get to me. And suddenly, the government has been further removed from the people. That's why it's important to have that. And that's why state sovereignty is so important, because we can keep all these issues down at the local level, and when we have a redress of grievance, we can go to Jefferson City. If you're in Illinois, you can go to Springfield. But you can go to your state governments. When people are supporting one of the problems that I really ran into is people that were telling me that they didn't want to support me because, well, I really like to support you, Paul, but first, you're not in my district. And I'm speaking for all the candidates and all the state representatives. I think I can do that on this particular issue. And then the second thing they say is, I really want to support John McCain, or I really want to support Mitt Romney, or somebody at the federal level. But if our founding, that's what I'm thinking about this, if our founding fathers said that the overwhelmingly vast majority of all issues, it's actually an infinite number of issues. Because we have Article 1, Section 8 issues are confined to Article 1, Section 8. Everything outside of this little circle belongs to the states. So you're looking out to an infinite number of issues. So maybe a good way to maybe redirect our thought or our plan of attack would be to start making sure that maybe our support for candidates is proportional to what the Constitution says it ought to be in the first place. And we should start giving support to state candidates, to our governors. Do you know that our governor right now, if he wanted to, he could just exempt us from Obamacare? He could. So maybe it's really, really important, instead of having a president it is important to have a conservative president, don't get me wrong, but I am saying that it's also just as important, maybe even more important, to protect the people and the liberty in the state of Missouri to have a conservative governor, so when the time comes, they have the backbone and the courage to sign what needs to be signed or just do what needs to be done. So maybe our state candidates warrant a little bit more attention than some of the federal candidates do. Maybe, possibly. I'm just throwing this out there. No offense to our federal candidate in here. I'm just saying.
I believe.
Okay. Because I was in a town hall meeting last month, and somebody who was really upset with one of my votes said, "You know what, Paul? We're looking for a Michelle Bachmann. We want." She starts Sarah Palin. She starts naming all this stuff, all these people, and I said, "Well, hold on a second." I said, "If you would just investigate some of the people that you got in Jefferson City, you're going to find out that you got people here in the state of Missouri that have a lot of courage and a lot of backbone." And one thing that Todd Aiken and Claire McCaskill and Peter Kinder, a lot of the guys at the upper echelons of government here in Missouri, one thing that they all have in common is they all came out of the Missouri State House. And the reason that they are where they are right now and they have the support that they have right now is because when they're state candidates, somebody was supporting them then. And they were sticking with them. Because the people at the top, President Obama, state senator. George Bush, state governor. All these people come out of the state. Our leadership in America is filtering up. That's the way it works in America because of the system of government that we have. So I'm just saying maybe, possibly, to redirect our effort and our education of our fellow citizens, to educate them to the state level, and let them know that we have good state candidates out there that are leaders that are getting stuff done, I think would warrant it might be very, very, very beneficial to us in the security of our liberties. Because we do need a governor that's going to exercise a little bit of backbone. He's been AWOL. So that means, in order to do that, recognizing that, Just like in the Marine Corps, whenever I was a squad leader and I was planning an attack, you have phases of the combat. You have phases on the battlefield, things you have to cross. Once you pass phase line 1, then your mission's different. Phase line 2, you cross that, then your mission's totally different, because what you're trying to do is by the time you reach the end of the battlefield, you want to accomplish your entire objective. The Tea Party movement is a great movement, and it's been rehashed over and over and over again up here on this panel. But people, one of the frustrations that I have is that we're going around the state, myself and Annette and Brenda, we've got to travel around the state, we've got to go to a lot of Tea Party groups, and people are so caught up in their meetings, and people are so caught up in saying, well, I'm going to go start a new meeting, well, I'm going to go start another organization. But the thing is that by the time election time comes, if everybody's just been focused on starting their own organization, if everybody's been focused on just having as many meetings as they can possibly have, if everybody's been focused on just education and education only, we're going to educate ourselves right to our own chains of slavery. Because the bottom line is that there's seats in government that have got to be replaced. They have to be replaced with the right people, because you can only count on the right people to do the right thing. End of discussion. That's it. That's logical. That is it. Like Phil was talking about, the Tea Party